What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Tin and Fin Show. Man, we have a beautiful day. We've had a cold front came through, so the temperatures have been like in the 30s in the morning, and right now it's close to 60, so it's beautiful. You know, there's a lot of bedding fish, but it's kind of towards the end of one cycle of the bedders coming up there. There's still some beds around. I've been out here for a little bit, and what we're doing is we're just covering water on one of my favorite springtime baits, and that's the old Cumberland Pro Lures Bama swim jig. This is a bluegill color. I'm not exactly sure what they call it, but sunfish maybe, and we just got a rage crawl on there. Now we're gonna catch I've caught a few fish, and we're gonna continue to throw it, and hopefully we'll catch a few more fish. But this is something that really gets good after these fish have set up on these beds and they're garden fry, like so some of the post spawn stuff, which is kind of happening now, but it's really going to get better in a couple weeks. So it's kind of why I'm doing this video, just to give you a heads up. It's something you definitely need to keep on the deck. It's kind of like that floating worm, that wacky rig. The swim jig is a great way to cover water when the fish are around beds, garden fry, things like that. And we got a little bit of breeze, but full sunshine, bluebird skies. Like I said, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. And we're going to continue to cover a little bit of water shallow, talk a little bit more about the swim jig that I'm throwing. And, you know, I don't know if we're going to catch any bigs, but we're going to cover water, and we're going to do this for a while. Because, you know what, I like getting my line tight. It's fun. I just like covering water, picking up a bait, covering water, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if we can't find any decent sized fish, we're gonna probably have to pull out a little bit deeper and spend some time looking out in that, you know, 10 to 15 foot zone. So hopefully we'll snatch a couple. Finn, this is your kind of weather, isn't it? She look cute. She just got back from the groomers. I love it, man. Life is good. Let's catch some fish, y'all. There's a good one. Just crush the swim jig. Come here. I got him, Finn. I got him, Finn. There, we got him. Aha! That was an awesome bite, man. Just on a little Cumberland Pro Lures Bama swim jig. And the Houdini with a rage crawl in there, and total visual bite. It's cool. Just saw a little flash, jigs disappeared, bit it just like you want them. Good stuff. Fish was just sitting up there shallow in that shade. Just covering a little water, just a little skinny water to just get a feel. I haven't been on this lake since, I don't know, since like fall. So new day. Old lure, that sucker. There we go. Got us one. Uh-oh. Settle down, buddy. Settle down. Are they right there in that little, by that dot? Really? Might have been carp.
I'm Donnie, by the way.
Oh, Gabe. Good to meet you. Yeah, we just got out here. I don't ever fish over here, and I thought, well, I'll come over here. And it's that time of year where they spawn, you know, and get up here shallow and stuff. That's Finley.
Bentley?
Finley.
Finley.
Yeah.
Hi, Finley.
Oh, down there a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Damn, there's a bunch, ain't there?
Yeah, there was like 20 while ago. You ever seen anything like that?
No.
Well, I just turned 51 this month, and I've never seen anything like it.
Well, those are carp.
Are they carp?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
That's crazy. They're just feeding. They feed. They're plankton feeders, so they're just sucking the zooplankton out of the. That is crazy looking. That's kind of trippy. Got her. Got her. Another swim jig fish. It's fun. We're covering water. I mean, having to cover a lot of water, but we are getting a few bites. It's fun too. They're absolutely blasting it. Just not as many fish up shallow these cold mornings. It's kind of pushed them back, but we're still gonna mess around with this for a little while. There he is. Got us one. Break out the old underspin. Saw some fish up there on the grass line. It's a good little underspin. I don't think you can buy them anymore, but it's a good one. A little Cumberland Pro Apex underspin. Fish got me all wet. There's a bigger one, a couple of bigger ones down there. All right, where are we? There he is. There he is. Got over here in that wind a little bit. In that wind, there's a few beds out there. Swim jig. All right, folks, let's talk a little bit about swim jig trailers. Today's been kind of tough. I mean, we're catching some fish, but we're not catching any giants. But don't let that fool you. There's days where swim jig is really the deal. I've got 4 basic styles of trailers that I like to throw. For the most part, I've been catching the fish today on 3/8 ounce. This is the Cumberland Pro Lures Bama swim jig in like a sunfish pattern, and just a rage crawl, full-size rage crawl. That's something I like to throw, I don't know, like, you know, 0 to 5, 6, 7 feet, something like that. It's got a lot of lift, it's got a lot of action, and it just gets a bigger bite most of the time. If I'm wanting to go a little bit shallower than that, I will put a chunk. This is a Big Bite Baits chunk. That's for the, like the Alabama shake, which is what this swim jig was actually designed for. But I will thread that up there, and it's just got a lot of surface area, and it really does this instead of the, you know, like the rage crawl does this. This just kind of does that. You can shake that, swim over the tops of grass, logs, beds, whatever. It's a great way to really slow your bait down, and most of the time I'm throwing a 1/4 ounce swim jig when I'm throwing this big chunk. Now, here's another one that I throw a whole lot. This is a menace type grub. There he is. Some big fish. Right. Snatch one up. Still a little Bama swim jig. A little menace crawler in there. Rage menace trailer. Get him off that little piece of wood right there. Oh. Got him that time. Nice fish. Just came back and hit it twice. There we go. All right. That's cool. Just fishing at shallow grass, and a fish came up and swiped at it. It's a good chunky little fish. And then I threw back in there, and she grabbed it again, just throwing this little, this is a 1/4 ounce Bama swim jig by Cumberland Pro Lures. A little menace on there. Just covering water. Just covering water. Twin tail grub. This is a 3/8 ounce swim jig, but I like to throw this. I mean, it's got a little more flash to it, so you kind of got to play around. Sometimes they want that rage crawl. Sometimes they want the menace. And obviously this is mimicking a shad. The other ones are mimicking a bluegill. This is a great bait around the shad spawn, something that happens in the Midwest in like April and May. You get a shad spawn. It's a great way catch a lot of good fish. This little setup right here. And then last but not least, I will throw like a 3-inch swim bait on there. Typically this is when I want to go a little bit deeper. If I'm throwing like a 3/8 ounce or a 1/2 ounce swim jig, I like to put a little swim bait of some size on there. Or if I'm fishing really shallow but I want to burn it, you can really get that bait moving. That's basically the 4 trailers that I use. Let me know what you guys use out there on your swim jigs. 1/4 ounce when I'm really shallow, 3/8 kind of mid depth, 1/2 ounce if I'm going a little bit deeper or I want to really get that bait moving. And as far as the equipment, this is just a 7'2" Virtus swim jig rod, medium heavy fast, but a 7 foot to 7'3" medium heavy. You want something with a little bit of tip, so when the fish grab it, they can kind of load up on it. I like 15-pound fluorocarbon. Some guys go with braid. I know several people like braid. It rips through the grass pretty good. If you do go with braid, make sure you got a little bit softer rod, because you got no stretch in that braid and you will pull it away from the fish. But 15-pound fluorocarbon has been pretty good with me, and I like a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. Gives you plenty of speed if you need it, and a lot of times those fish will hit it and they'll come towards you. So if you got a little bit faster gear ratio, you can catch up with those fish and get a hook in them. Definitely some fish up here shallow. Oh, what's that, Finn? What happened? You're just taking a nap and all of a sudden, fish jumps in the boat. Caught us one up underneath that tree. All right, that's fine, man. That's fine. We get our line tight. Just gonna keep covering water. All right, folks. Midday report. The swim jig bite just kind of died. We did catch a few fish. Got quite a few bites on the swim jig. Just nothing really big. So there are some fish up shallow, but I think the bigger ones have pulled off because of these, 3 or 4 cool days. So we've got a few hours left to fish. Water temp is 67 degrees. There's a little bit of breeze out here, and it's pretty much, we got a few little cirrus clouds creeping in, but for the most part it's full on sunshine. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it up a little bit more. We're gonna do a little more flipping. I got a Cinco rigged up. I've got a jig and a tube. It's hard to fish a tube right now because of the there's just a lot of slimy, snotty grass. And I got a little jig minnow. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna do some kind of pitching, and we're gonna slide out a little bit deeper and see if we can locate some of these fish that have pulled off on the bank. Little guy. Little feller. Spanky head. It got tough out here, folks. It got tough. Guy. Little feller on the old spanky head. Having boat troubles, guys. Man, it's gotten tough out here. Picked up this shaky head, just fishing out here a little bit deeper. I'm catching some dinks and my motor won't start. So had to get out of the wind, and hopefully it's just flooded. I don't know what's going on. I was running down the lake and it was like bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. It sounds like a fuel thing. The ball's flat and I pumped it full and I think I flooded it, so we're gonna fish this little quiet stretch and hopefully I can make it back. Better fish. That little freaker. Jeez. We on them. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with this little guy, man. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know, we started out getting some bites on that swim jig and I kept them honest with it. It just kind of went away. And I had to pick up a little spanky head to continue to get some bites. Just, that's the way it goes sometimes. I mean, you gotta go finesse and keep moving around to find a bite. I found this little stretch right here and I've gotten several bites on this little stretch, but I fished a lot of water without any success. So it's nice to get a few bites before we have to wrap it up. Thanks for coming along on this adventure. That swim jig though, post spawn like first part of May, all through May and early June. That's a good bait to keep on the deck of your boat for covering water. That's like, for me, that's the best time of the year for throwing that swim jig, and the fall. But for spring, May, it's all good. So, till next time.